it's discouraging that I've lost power 3 times in the last 3 days. That's because San Jose, Costa Rica is not the easiest place. It's not an easy place. If you want good ease, you need to make sure that your move abroad plan includes you moving to an easy place. Okay? Right? So I don't know what you heard about Rwanda, but Halana talked about having to spend days out of her month just banking, right? Rashida spent hours and hours at a time just trying to get cash and pay for things. If you want ease, you need to go to an easy place, right? People want to push you to Ghana or Senegal or the Ivory Cote d'Ivoire, right? You need to check it out and see if it fits the life that you want. Can you have the day, the weeks, the month that you want there? I love South Africa. I love South Africa. Johannesburg was amazing. All I ever say is Johannesburg is alive. Johannesburg is amazing, and it's so me, right? But when I was there, and again, I was there in 2017, things have changed. But when I was there, internet was terrible. You could not be a remote worker in Johannesburg. Okay, I've heard the internet is better, but I don't know what the blackout situation is still, right? So if you want, you need to know. So step number one to moving abroad for Black women is knowing what you want your life to look like. You need to have a clear picture. Take some downtime and just visualize. Visualize, vision your day, your week, your life. Envision what you want for yourself and make sure the places you're going match that, right? Hustle and bustle in major cities. Tokyo, when I think of Tokyo, I think of hustle and bustle, right? Tokyo is awesome and it looks really cool, but maybe you don't want the hustle and bustle around you. Or New York City, right? Maybe you don't want the hustle and bustle, right? Washington, D.C. is one of my favorite cities in the world. I love the Washington, D.C. area, right? From Maryland into Virginia. I love Washington, D.C. But in Washington, D.C., things are very politics centric, right? Or it's hard to be a peaceful, chanting person in DC. You're going to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, right? And, in Los Angeles, my beef with Los Angeles, having only spent a few days there house sitting, right? And then once I went on vacation with my parents to the Southern California area. My beef with LA, everybody is in the entertainment business or wants to be in the entertainment business, and there was not a lot of real connection. If you're okay moving to a place where you're getting connections, but not connection, LA may be perfect for you. But if you need connection, maybe not, right? And so what we want to do is we want to know, first step to moving abroad, know what you want your life to look like. Even if it's just for the next few, right? The next few months or years. I know what I want my life to look like for the next few years in Costa Rica. And then I want to leave Costa Rica. I think the things that I want more long term after 2028, right? More long term, I don't think I can have them in Costa Rica. I don't think, right? This is not the place, it's a place, but it's a place that fits me really well now. Even with this is like I said, these last 3 days, the wind, I don't even know if you can hear the wind. The wind is just whipping through the city, right? And that's what's causing the power and the internet outages. But the rest of the time that I've been here, I haven't experienced it. So even with that, it works for me. Okay, but you need to know what you want your day to look like. Yesterday during a work call with Rashida, my power went out. I had to gather my stuff, put it in my backpack, and go work. First, I went down to McDonald's. Power was out at McDonald's too. Then I had to get in an Uber and go to Starbucks. If that's an annoyance to you and you don't want to do it, you need to go to a place with more reliable utilities, right? I went to Starbucks. I worked in Starbucks until about 4 p.m. We were meeting at 9, so I probably got to Starbucks by 10:30 or 11. By 11, we were meeting at 9. Probably power went out around 10 or 10:30. I got to Starbucks by 11. I sat in that seat in that Starbucks until 4:30 when we finished coaching. 4 o'clock, 4:30. I still had one more coaching call. I was tired of sitting in Starbucks. I went across the street to McDonald's. I did my last coaching call for McDonald's yesterday, right? If that's not what you want for your life, if you run a business and you need more reliable stuff than that, you need to go to a place with more reliable stuff than this, right? So we need to know what we want for our lives, okay? Fairly fast. I need a short term plan which will lead to a long term one. Okay, right? We forget that our life is chapters. Our life happens in chapters. It's hard, it's impossible to plan for forever. It's impossible because you don't know who you're going to be, right? The things that were your priorities at one time are not going to be your priorities going forward. So I like planning for 4 years. I have a 4 year clock in my head that goes off and says, time to change everything, right? With the pandemic, that clock kind of got delayed. But I've been bopping around since 2015. It's been 7.5 years. My clock is like, time to get a place and settle down, sit down somewhere. We're tired of bopping, right? But that bopping from 2015 to 2022 was amazing. It was wonderful and I loved it. I got 3 extra years because of the pandemic, right? Before the clock started going off. But our life is chapters. You don't have to plan for the ever, ever. But if you can plan for 4 or 5 years or however much time you feel comfortable, do that. Step number one, what life do you want? I know that doesn't sound like a step, but it's a step. Okay, step one, what life do you want? You have to have a picture, or you're going to find, or somebody's going to make one for you, and you're going to hate it, right? Somebody would tell me, Mexico City. I don't think I would love Mexico City. I like small neighborhoods. I'm not a city girl. I'm not a city girl. The one thing I love about this neighborhood, it's not a pretty neighborhood, the one I'm in right now. It's not pretty, but you know what's right here? The grocery store, there's a vegetable man on the corner. He's selling tomatoes, pineapples, fruit and vegetable man. Tomatoes, pineapples, oranges, avocado, I think sometimes, right? There's a florist and a nail shop on the way to McDonald's, right? So McDonald's is probably a 30-second walk, and I pass by a florist and a nail shop, right? So there are things that I like that I forgot. What was I saying? Not a city girl. I'm not a city girl. I like neighborhoods with conveniences, and I like mixed use neighborhoods, and I like walkable neighborhoods. But I don't like big things. I don't need a big city, right? I would like looking out this window and seeing the mountains. I don't necessarily want to look out every day and see city life, right? You have to know what your vision is for your life, right? Minnie wants the beach and margaritas. Por favor, right? You have to know what you want to be able to enjoy it. You have to know what you want to be able to get it, right? You can't get what you want without knowing what you want, right? Do you want ease or do you want blackouts? Okay. Do you want community or do you want people who want to be connected to you just because they want to see what you can do for them, which is my impression of Los Angeles, right? You need to know, and I don't know what the Los Angeles would be of other places. I don't know if there's other places in the world that are like that too, but I was like, no, LA is not for me. Not for me, right? We have to know what we want. So step one, what do we want? So do you have a thing that is guiding your decisions today? It might be a word, it might be a thing, right? So you all know that I want ease and I want a community. I want to raise my kids who don't exist yet. Calm down, okay? I want to raise my kids in community with other people. I was raised inside of large extended families on both sides who were there, right? My mom can't pick me up. My cousin Cynthia is going to come and pick me up, right? My parents are working and school is out. I'm going to my grandparents' house for a week or 2 weeks or the summer or every day back and forth. Sometimes I would go back and forth, go home at night and then go back in the day. Other times I would just stay. Depends on if there was another cousin there or not, right? I was raised like that. Even when we went to Ohio, by the time we got to Ohio, I was 8 or 9. Even when we went to Ohio, the church community stood in, right? You know, and I want to raise my kids in community. I don't want to be a single mom, right? don't want to be a solo parent, single mom, right? I'm getting me a community of friends. We're gonna do some stuff together, whether they have kids or not. We're gonna be in this together. I think Costa Rica is a place where I can do that because there are Black women in Costa Rica already who I can befriend, right? And who will do that? Who will be in community with me and with my family and their family and them. So we have to know what we want, right? If you want to wake up with the waves every day, you have to know that. You're not going to be happy in Mexico City. If you want to wake up and have something to do every day, you're not going to be happy in San Jose, Costa Rica, right? If you want things always passing through, there's always an event, a festival, a new restaurant, an old restaurant that you haven't visited yet, right? That's Mexico City, right? That's not San Jose, Costa Rica. I have not found a whole lot to do here. As a person who doesn't like to do a whole lot, it fits me, right? I want a village. I think I've landed myself or am landing myself in a place where there will be a village, right? So know what you want. Some of you want a whole lot of time of solitude, a whole lot of solitude. Ain't nothing wrong with it, okay? Maybe Mexico City or Washington, D.C. or London, maybe this is not the time for that, right? Or Johannesburg, right? Maybe this is not the time for that. Find out what you need now in your life and make that priority number one. So Halisi loves to be close to the water. It's not right out her door, but we can see it from the back porch. Oh, that's good. Lisbon, Portugal, like you're not far. No matter where you are in Lisbon, you're not far from the water, right? And you can get there on a train, which I love. You can get to the beach on a metro in Lisbon. That's new to me. I'm from Delaware. We have beaches. I'm from Delaware. We on the coast. We have beaches, but you can't just get on a train or a bus and end up at a beach in Delaware. You needs to have a car, right? So know what you need. Glass half full. Near the beach, reliable internet, walkable, and good public transit. Okay, know what you need. Cynthia, I want to be somewhere I can slow time down, near the water, warm weather year round. All right, you can do that somewhere. I don't know about the time thing. Time is moving so fast. I don't know. Do y'all know what day it is? Do y'all know it's February 18th? And there's only 28 days in the month. What is happening? I don't know. Cynthia, if you find a place where you can slow down time, share it with us. Share it with us. Nicole, I want city life, access to the ocean, walkability, easy flight back to the US, surrounded by a community of Black women. Know what you want, right? Yes. I want to be out of the rat race. Tracy, DC is full of rats, girl. All kind of rats. All kind of rats. Yes, I want you to watch my kids is what I'm saying, Tori. Yes, okay. That's exactly what I'm saying. But I'll watch yours too, right? Because Cynthia took good care of me, and we took good care of Cynthia's son, right? Troy was a baby when she was a Girl Scout leader, and when she went to Girl Scout meetings, Troy came to our house. She'd bring him over with a little sleeve of not Ritz crackers, saltines. She'd bring him over with a little sleeve of saltines because he was addicted to saltines. He loved him some saltines, right? She did for us, and we did for her. Yes, right? I want that in my life. I don't want to be a solo single mom. Okay? I'm not talking, but that's not what this is about. This is about what you want out of your new life. What I want a day where I can wake up slowly, right? And not wake up and have to go. I want to have a view of something beautiful out of my window. That could be mountains, it could be the jungle, it could be the beach. I'm flexible on that, right? But I want to have a beautiful view out of my windows. For you, could be a city view, right? I want to be able to walk and get the things I need in my day, not have to get in a car to go and get things that I need, small things. I don't mind getting in a car to go to the mall, right? But I don't want to have to get in the car because I'm out of milk. And it would be nice to also be able to walk the kids to school, or the nanny, somebody walk the kids to school, right? And I want to be, for that day, right? I want to have, I talked about the beautiful view. Yeah, that's about it, right? Those are the things that will give me the days that I want, the days that stack into the months and the years that I want, right? I have a clear vision. I get to pantomime it when I house sit. House sitting has been a wonderful day to be like, what do I want for myself? A certain person who is a community member has a house sit coming up in a certain awesome city, and she invited her awesome daughter. And I was like, go, you get to pretend to live that life for a while. See if you like it, right? Or she's going to a country estate to house sit. I think a country house to house sit. And I'm like, you get to see if the country house life is for you, right? You get to do it. In Tampa, I got to see, do I like living on an exclusive island in Florida full of rich athletes? It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. You get to play around with some lives and see what you like. I've done many a Washington, D.C. house sit. Although Washington, D.C. is one of my favorite places in the world, one of my favorite cities in the world, it's not the life for me. It's not the daily life for me. It's a once in a while life for me. Washington, D.C. and New York City. New York, I feel less comfortable in New York. I've not found a neighborhood in New York where I could, spend some time. In D.C., there's some places where I know I could spend some time and be comfortable here. It's just not the life for me, right? So, okay, so what do we want? Do we want ease or do we want blackouts? Do we want solitude or do we want community, right? Do we want busyness? Do we want things to do? Do we want nothing to do, right? What do you want? Seriously, number one, what do you want, right? And that's not, you don't have to know what you're going to want for the rest of your life. But you do need to know what you want coming up, for the next little while, right? Tiffany, I'm looking forward to working less, building my business, and being less stressed. Yes, we are. That's it. That's what I'm doing too, right? A country house sounds dreamy. Country house sounds amazing for some of us. Some of us don't know. For some of us, it sounds awful, right? So, what kind of life do you want? Okay, let's move on. Number two, second step for Black women moving abroad. The second question, where do you want to go? It's pretty simple. Where? Where do you want to go? Do you have some ideas? Do you have no idea? If you have some ideas, explore them, even if you can't get to them. Look around. Somebody's making content telling you what life is like in those places. Where do you want to go? You don't have to censor it yet, okay? The money is probably going to be the censoring thing. The money and maybe the weather are going to, and the people there probably going to chip away at some of their wares. But first, just where? Where do you want to go? What place has been calling to you or speaking to you? If you don't know, then you can probably look at where other Black women are going and being happy, and see if you want any of those seem like places you want to add to your list. So how do you know where Black women are going and being happy? How do you know some places out here where you can find Black women talking about their lives there? I invite you to join the Exodus Summit Facebook community. Exodus Summit is a community of Black women who either have or are planning their move abroad or their sabbatical or career break or their digital nomad life. And inside of this community full of Black women, you're seeing real time their experiences. They're telling you right now, listen, Panama City, Panama is where you want to be. Okay, they're telling you right now. They're sharing exactly what they're experiencing in these places. If you don't know where you want to go, it's okay to hear what other people say and come up with some ideas. You're just coming up with ideas. You're not making your whole plan based on what I say, right? You're not coming to Costa Rica based on my saying I like Costa Rica, because you don't have the same needs, you don't have the same dreams, right? But if you're like, I don't know where, listen to what other women are talking about. There are whole enclaves, there are whole communities of Black women thriving because, thriving abroad, thriving in various parts of the world because they've connected with each other once they've gotten there. So utilize that. How to join the Exodus Summit Facebook community. I can't put your picture on the screen. Too many opinions. I can't put that picture on the screen. Right? Okay. If you are a Black woman, you can join the Exodus Summit Facebook community by going to exodussummit.com/community. Okay, it's a Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group only for Black women. If you find yourself declined when you hit the join group button, it's because for some reason we didn't think you were a Black woman. Could be because you don't have a profile photo of yourself or whatever, right? So if you're a person who's incognito on Facebook, it could be very difficult to get into the community. If your Facebook profile is totally locked down, we can't see, and your profile photo is like a flower, and we can't see any pictures of you, you may not get in, okay? I'm telling you. But this is a community for Black women who are planning these things and who have already done these things. Oh, look at this, Letitia's voice. I just got to Panama yesterday and checking it out. Listen, I'm hearing nothing but wonderful things from Black women about Panama, right? I'm hearing nothing but wonderful things. Um, I have a flight from El Salvador back to the US coming up in early April. And I have right now, I haven't booked the flight. I have not booked the flight, but I will be taking the flight. And right now, it looks like I'll be having a layover in Panama, and I'm trying to decide how many days. Do I want to just stay for half a day? I don't think so. I think I want to be there for a little while. So, who do you want? What life do you want? And then where do you want to go? And it really is okay for you to decide where you want to go. Like decide the first round of where you want to go just by hearing what other Black women have to say. What are their experiences in these places? Put it on your list. Too many opinions says I'll change my picture, I promise. You listen, you stay, do what you want. Stay here, do what you want. I'm telling you, I can't put that on the screen. Okay. I'm telling you, I can't put that on my screen. Oh, Angela Adams, I have a property in Bugaba. I don't know Bugaba, Panama, and it's great. Is that a beach place? Is it a jungle place? What's it like? Katrina, late March, early April, I need to pass through Panama, heading back to the U.S. And so I'm trying to decide now, like how many days. What I'm going to do to decide, seriously, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look on Airbnb, see if I can see some Airbnbs where I'm like, oh, I would love to stay there for a few days, and see if I can find any like thing that I would want to do there. Is there a thing? I like markets. I haven't been to any markets in Costa Rica, right? Like if I'm going to pass through Panama and they're like, oh my gosh, this Wednesday market is amazing and whatever, then I'll build my Panama itinerary around that. Right, because I'm not looking at Panama as a place to live. So it's not a scouting trip, it's just a visit, right? Roxanne lives there. Maybe I can holler at Roxanne, holler at her and see if she'll be in town, right? And then just see. Um, and that's something I need to start planning soon because, as we've discussed, March will be here before we know it, and then April. All right. Okay, let me get back to my notes. Okay, so first steps, we talked about what life do you want? And then where do you want to go? Where do you want to go can be first just not dictated by. First, your first choices can just be based on where do other Black women love it? Where is there the weather that I want? Okay, because the reason that Panama never really crossed my mind as a live there place is it's hot. It's hot. I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica, where it's pretty high altitude, and it's been like 75 to 80 degrees has been the high every day since I've been here since October, right? Um, where are Black women enjoying themselves? Where is there weather that I like? And who has a residency process that I can understand? So seriously, once you find a couple countries, Google how to become a resident of that place. Yeah, I'm telling you, these last few days, the wind has been bonkers, and that's caused internet and power outages all over the city. I know. I know. It's just been, I don't know. I don't have friends here yet, so I don't know. Is this something I should expect for quite a while? Is this just a random few days? Let me see what the weather app says. Weather says windy today and Sunday, and then no wind, I mean, not crazy windy after Sunday. So it's just something that's passing through. Okay, but it's caused power outages and electric and internet, of course, internet outages, right? So you need to know, right? You need to know. But what was that? What were we talking about? We were talking about the things that may help you decide where you want to go. Where are other Black women enjoying it? Where's their weather that I like? I don't want to be. So we talked about some. Who just landed in Merida? The traveling. I can't find you. Just landed in Merida, right? It's about to get blazing hot. March through, I don't know, March through October is about to be 100 degrees all the time, right? So, what are the things that you can deal with? And then once you, not deal with, what are the things that you can enjoy? And then once you do that, once you come up with a few countries or cities, then find out how to get residency in that country. Google it, look at the process. Seriously, look at the process. Most countries will have multiple paths to residency. A lot of countries have some sort of path for retirees who are collecting steady pension money or retirement income or social security or investment income. A lot of countries have some sort of residency path for freelancers or for people who work online, right? Some have others. But look at what is the path to residency. What I don't recommend is that you move to a country without getting residency in a country. Because I've heard of people, right? And maybe one day we can interview someone who have set up shop in a country as a tourist on their tourist visa and then been notified you got to get out, right? You got to leave this country now. Or they leave the country and they can't get back in right away. You don't want that. You want legal permission to be in a place for a set period of time, even if it's 1 year at a pop and you keep renewing it, right, for 3 or 4 years or 2 years at a pop. Or if they give you permanent residency, you're in there, right? What you want to do though is research that country's residency process. And does it look like they have a pathway for you to become a resident of that country? Okay? Where do you want to go? May be as simple as where are other Black women really loving it? Which is a lot of places in the world. Where are y'all really loving it, right? What's the weather? What is the pathway to residency? Now, I didn't mention cost of living in this section because we're going to talk about cost of living in the next section. The next step, after what life do you want and where do you want to go, the next step is how does your money look compared to the cost of living? I used to make this the first thing. So if I've done this video before, I've talked about this a lot. Hello. I've talked about this a lot. I used to start with the cost of living. But you know what? We know how to make the money we need to live where we want to live. So I've moved it down to step 3. I don't think we need the cost of living to be the first deciding factor. Maybe because my money situation has changed. All right? My money situation has changed. Since I started this channel, I went from hoping I'm going to make $1,200 to $1,500 this month, right? Through my virtual assistant business to making, I don't know, 20K. I can get 20K in a month. I can make 20K in a month, right? So my financial situation has changed. So this also is factoring into why this is a different place on the ladder. And not only has my financial situation changed, I've helped some Black women make the money they need to live where they want to live. So I know it's possible. It's possible for you to say, this place is going to cost me this much per month. Now, how do I get that? And with ease. We're helping Black women through the Exodus Summit business, right? Exodus Summit is helping Black women make the money they need to live the life of their dreams with ease, without struggling and straining. With ease. How do we do that? First, I'm going to link you to the replays of Exodus Summit 2022. Exodus Summit 2022 was our virtual summit where we had speakers come in, Black women speakers come in, and give you the first steps to making money the way that they make money, right? They didn't come in and just say, I make money as a YouTuber, right? Mine was on YouTube. Sometimes I be trying to think of examples, and I'm like, I can't think of any examples. I done talked about this thing a million times, right? I make money teaching online. I make money teaching people, students online, or I make money selling feet pics. Minnie's here. I make money selling feet pics. They didn't just say that. They told you how to make your first money, how to get started, freelancing, if whether freelance writing or any type of freelancing. The session by every time I give her a different first name. I know her last name is Poitevin. I'm pretty sure she's Jessica Poitevin. Sometimes I call her Danielle Poitevin. I'm sorry, friend. Jessica Poitevin, she did an amazing session on freelancing, even if she's a freelance writer. But even if your freelance business is not freelance writing, it's freelance something else, freelance web design, freelance something else, freelance photography, something. It's a wonderful session on getting clients, pitching and getting clients. So the Exodus Summit 2022 replays are available at exodussummit.com. Of course, I'll link to that in the description of this video when we're done. So if you're watching from the future, you're watching the replay. Hello, friends in the future. I hope the future is amazing. I'll link to that there. But exodussummit.com is where you go to get thank you, Rashida. Yes, Jessica. Exodus Summit 2022 is where you go to learn how to make the money you need to live the life of your dreams. Go. Watch the replays, pick out two or three sessions that speak to you. You're like, I could make money doing this, right? Maybe freelance writing sounds amazing to you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe teaching your thing online sounds great, maybe not. Maybe YouTube, maybe coaching, maybe infopreneurship, maybe subscription-based newsletter business model, right? We had a speaker talk about that. Maybe Airbnb in your home, maybe being a real estate investor without being a landlord. I think I did a pretty good job this time. It took me a while to remember what the sessions were. It's morning, okay? But this is where we teach you, we and our friends, our women who are also living their dream lives, are teaching you how to do these things. We had a speaker come in and teach negotiation and how to get a better salary in your job today. Those were the first attendees who got results. Those were the first attendees who bought their tickets to Exodus Summit and made their money back, right? The women who went into their jobs the next day and were like, oh, let's have a conversation about my salary. Or before they signed a job offer, we need to talk, okay? Right? So this is how we help Black women make the money they need to live their dreams. It's through the Exodus Summit. And so now I don't think we need to put cost of living at the top of our list. Okay, that's how I'm living. Okay, that's how I'm living, right? We can make the money we need to live our dreams, right? Become a virtual assistant. So the virtual assistant creating me says, how do you become a virtual assistant? I would use the freelance session plus let's see, which sessions would be helpful for someone who wants to become. We didn't have a specific virtual assistant talk, but the freelancer session that Jessica talked about is about pitching. What you need to know to be a virtual assistant is you need to know how to pitch clients. And then I would watch the infopreneurship session that Rashida taught on how to take what's in your brain and make it a money, right? How to make some money from a skill set you already have. Those two sessions will get you those two sessions will teach you the virtual assistant life, or what you need to run a virtual assistant business. And also, was there a session on, right now, those are the two that are coming to my mind, but scroll through. Seriously, go to exodussummit.com and scroll through. What you need to know when you're starting a business is you need to know how to pick a niche, of clients who can afford to pay you. A lot of virtual assistants start their businesses. Okay, I'm speaking from experience. I started my virtual assistant serving new coaches who didn't have clients yet and they didn't have money to pay me. So what you want to do, and Teen Zekas' session also will help you. She also spoke in her session. What I called salary negotiation is really 3 steps to earning the salary you deserve. That session also will help you evaluate your skill set, right? In a way so that you can present and package it to people for a higher income, higher pay, more money. Package your skill set for more money, right? If you package your skill set as a social media virtual assistant, you're not going to make the money that you're going to make as a creative director or as a project manager, as a launch manager, right? So those sessions are going to be really helpful. And Libria's session on remote work, how do I forget that one? Libria's session on remote work also did a very amazing job of helping you see your skill set, right? What we need to make it a money is we need to understand the value in the skill set that we have. We overlook our skill set. That's normal. It's common, particularly among Black women. She taught us how to get more white man about saying who we are and what we do, right? How to get a little more white man about that. Oh yeah, I'm a project manager, right? Oh yeah, here's the result. Here's the thing I can do for you and for your business. Okay, all right. So we are going to exodussummit.com. If your but I want to move abroad, but if it's money, Exodus Summit 2022 was called Move Abroad Money. Problem solved. Okay. Problem solved. We have what you need in that summit for you to make the money to live your dreams. How am I making the money to live my dreams? My YouTube channel, which brings me coaching client students for house sitter school, and for my YouTube coaching, I coach about house sitting, and I coach about YouTube channel growth, right? Exodus Summit is a virtual summit that I host annually with Rashida. That makes us money. We also host in-person meetups together, but those don't make us money. I'm not putting that on this list. We don't make money yet from our in-person stuff, but we do make money from the virtual summit things. I have a book that'll be coming out this year. I've had sponsorships on this. I've had a sponsor on this YouTube channel, and we've had sponsors for the Exodus Summit, right? So I no longer feel like money needs to dictate where we go, because we now know how to make the money to live our dreams. If you don't know, seriously, go to exodussummit.com. We made it for you. We already are doing it. Rashida and I are already doing it, right? But we made Exodus Summit 2022 for you. Okay, anybody here made any money from the summit? I'm really far behind in the chat, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see your answers though, honestly. But we did that for you. Stephanie's Journey says, I'm trying to grow my YouTube and e-commerce so that I can retire early. Yes, want to call it quits in 2025. Okay, do it, right? So I have a YouTube I have a YouTube challenge coming up February 27th through March 3rd called YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge. I only have 2 spots left. I had 2 spots left when I woke up this morning. 2 spots left in the challenge. It starts February 27th, and that's at vicarious.com/challenge. Vicarious.com/challenge. YouTube is where clients come from for me and Rashida. YouTube and our email newsletter is how we make the money from our businesses, right? It's one thing to have an offer, to offer coaching, to offer a virtual summit, but how do you get people there? Our YouTube channels and our newsletters, email marketing. And so I teach the YouTube thing at the YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge. I put challenge starts and I didn't fill it in. Challenge starts February 27th, vicarious.com/challenge. 2 spots left as far as I know. If you get there and it says full, then get on the wait list so that you can know when the challenge happens again, which I'm pretty sure is May, but I don't know for sure. I don't have the calendar in front of me right now. Okay, Linda's in. All right, I'll see you there, Linda. We start in a week from Monday. All right. So this is, did the troll leave? Did I miss the troll? I'm behind. You could tell me. Oh, I wouldn't have seen it. Okay. I can block people. Oh, new Hugh needs to be blocked. Okay, well, let me block him, block the person I'm sorry, y'all. This is what happens when I get behind in the chat. Passport sister wannabes. I don't even really understand that. Ban. Okay. All right. Remember, friends, trolls can't hurt you. They can't hurt you. We in here living our dreams, okay? And they are not. One thing I know in common with the women, my women friends who are out here living our dreams, we ain't got time to be worried about what somebody else is doing that we don't like. Okay? We don't have time to be worried about what other people doing and how what we have to say about what they doing. I don't got nothing to say about what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. Do it. Was I excited? I don't get to block too many people. I don't know. I don't get to do it too many times. Now I know how to do it. You know how it is? Like you learn how to do something and then all of a sudden you don't have to do it. Like, let me exercise my skills. All right. So, oh, how do you get my newsletter? Hi, Olinka. Okay, there's an Exodus Summit. Okay, to sign up for the Exodus Summit newsletter, you go to exodussummit.com/newsletter. All right, this is the Exodus Summit newsletter, which is a newsletter for Black women planning a sabbatical, a move abroad, or digital nomad life. exodussummit.com/newsletter. I haven't set up a link like that for mine. So for me, just go get your house sitter toolkit. I don't think I have an easy link like that. But if you go to if you go to housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit, I know, okay. But if you do that, you'll get my new house sitter toolkit and you'll be on my email list to get my newsletter. Sorry. Well, I need to make vicarious.com/newsletter might exist, but I don't remember ever setting that up. I should have. I don't know. Anybody want to look? Vicarious.com/newsletter. That I may have done it one day. I don't know. That's how you get on our newsletters. We Yeah, okay. Let me look at the chat. I'm sorry that the troll was bothering you, but they can't hurt you. Right? We out here living. We out here living. Not everyone is going to be happy about that. You're going to learn, right? You'll see in your own life. Not everyone is happy about that. That's why we get in community with people who are into our thing, right? We don't rely on feedback from people who are never going to be on our side anyway for this, right? People who are never going to be happy about it. We don't wait for them to come around. We get in community with one another. Here, on the YouTube channels of the many women who are a part of this movement, in the Exodus Summit community, right? Then you don't care too much about what somebody else has to say. Right? We don't care too much. Okay. Yeah. Okay. One day I'll set it up, Francis. Thank you. So just go to housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I know it's a lot. Okay. I know. But this is how you get my newsletter. Okay. One day I'll set it up. The other one. That's right. Some people are very used to being the center of conversation. Men are very used to being the center of women's conversation. And when women are I didn't even mention men, right? He's talking about what he's saying is we are doing what the Passport Bros are doing. Passport Bros is like a community of Black men who go to other countries to get women, right? But we didn't even mention men. So comparing us to Passport Bros means you just assume when women get together, they're talking about men. Ain't nobody worried about you. Ain't nobody worried. Ain't nobody worried about no man. So let me go back on this, okay? So some of us, when I talked about what do you want, the first thing we said today, right, is know what life you want. What do you want for yourself? If what you want, seriously, is a man or a partner, a person, right? If that's what you want, make that a priority in your move abroad search, in your move abroad or your bop around thing, right? I'm not here to tell you a man should not be your priority, right? Having a partner in life. It would be amazing. Y'all know I want a yacht, right? It would be amazing. But and it's a factor. I factored it in, right? I went to Curacao last winter and a portion of the reason was to scout out Curacao as a place to live because they have tall men. Tall men in various colors, in a variety pack of colors, right? So we do want to know what you do want to know what you want. But people are assuming, right? Just because women are getting together and talking about things that they want for themselves, they assume it's about a man. Ain't nobody worried about no man. We've had them. If they were all that great, we would still have them, right? Some of y'all do have husbands and men and partners in your lives. Some of you do. Okay. I'm doing all right without it. Right? Right? Yeah. It's just a thing. Ain't nothing. It's not worth it's not worth having a conversation about. It's just a thing, right? Men have always. I went to Thailand in 2018, and like every white dude you saw was with a young Thai person, young Thai girl or boy or man or woman, right? Men have traveled for sex, and men have traveled for marriage always. So I ain't worried about. Now you want to come in and police what I'm doing? I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. But do know what you want for yourself, and you don't have to limit it. You don't. I don't think you have to put a ceiling on it. I would like this thing, but it's not possible. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't talk yourself out of it. If it's a priority to you, make it a priority. I'm in Costa Rica. Y'all know this. I'm in Costa Rica to adopt children, right? Like if it's a priority, make it a priority. I'm not going to tell you your priorities are wrong. Well, some. It depends. But not that. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but that's not what we're sitting here talking about. This conversation is not about how to go someplace and get a man. But we've had that conversation. We've talked about it. I got a whole video called Where the Rich Men At, right? We had a whole conversation about it. Okay, but let's get back to number 3, which is your money versus the cost of living. This is the next thing you need to consider in your move abroad planning. Move abroad planning. How does my money stack up compared to the cost of living? And your money may be money that is, it may be income, money that you make, need to make, have made. It may be investments and savings and stuff. It doesn't have to be cash money, right? But money. How does your money compare? Do you need to make more money to live that dream? If you do, make more money. Like seriously, as a person who's made a variety of different income levels, things are easier when you make more money, right? And making more money does not equal working harder. There's no correlation between the amount of hard work you do and the amount of money you make. You know that. You know that already looking around your own life and other people's lives. But if that's a message you need to relearn it. All right? Hard work does not equal more money. So, if the solution for you to live a better life in abroad, right, is that you need to make more money to do it, you need to make more money to do it. How are women doing it? They're doing it the ways that they taught in Exodus Summit. Go to exodussummit.com. I'm telling you, right? From real estate investing without being a landlord to freelance work to teaching online, teaching students online, there's information in there. Okay? I don't think money should be the reason you don't live your dreams. Y'all have heard me say this a lot. We have a lot of new people though. I'm gonna pull out the oldies but goodies because we do have a lot of new women here, I think. Right? So I don't think you should temper your dreams because of the money. We can make more money. We're Black women. We know how to do things. I don't know too many Black women who have one job or one income source, right? You've already been doing it in your own life. You've already been making the money you need to live your life. You can make the money you need to live abroad, and it can be with ease. It can be not as hard as it is in the US. It can be not as struggle bus. It can be not the struggle dollars. It's there. There's no shortage of money. Ain't no money shortage. There might be what's the recent are we still in the egg shortage? What's the most recent shortage we've had to undergo? Are we still in the egg shortage time? Might be an egg shortage. Ain't no money shortage. Ain't no money shortage. All right? J inspired Maze. I'm planning, learning, saving. Yes. Right? So if the money is the thing, make more money. Right? Seriously. Does that mean a pay increase? Does that mean a whole different industry? Does that mean a business instead of a job? Does that mean a job instead of a business? Does that mean investments? Does that mean marrying a rich sucker, right? Make more money. We're still in the egg shortage? Okay. I, I'm in Costa Rica. I got 18 eggs. I'm pretty sure I paid I paid about 1,000 colones for 18 eggs. We're not having no egg shortage down here. I looked at the price and then I was like, I'm gonna remember that price. I think I paid 11 colones, which is $1.95 for 18 eggs. Ain't no egg shortage down here. And I buy the pasture raised eggs, from pasture chickens. You know what I mean? Chickens that get to walk around. The egg yolks are much more yellow and they look much more like an egg when the chicken gets to move around and live her life. So I buy those because I eat a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. There are many paths to get the things that we want. I'm not a person who thinks there's only one way to do things. There are many paths, right? Okay, Caddy Wagon, I need to go back and watch the rich man video so I can find a man who can help me buy some eggs. We did a whole video here where women walked us through a thought process of how to find a rich man. It was really fun. I think it was a really fun video. That's not the focus of our channel. We know that, but it was a really fun video. Don't forget the keynote. We had Rich and Regular, and her name is, we had a keynote speaker. I told you that Exodus Summit 2023 had sessions where speakers came in and taught you how to make money individually, or how to make money doing a thing that they do. We also had a session on taxes for expats, right? We had some other sessions that were not like business or job focused. But Kirsten Saunders of Rich and Regular came in and did a talk on cashing out, right? Kirsten Saunders and her husband Julian are the authors of a book called Cashing Out, which I just gave to Katrina, or I would have it right here to hold up because I have some books over here. Or no, I have some books over here, right? They wrote the book called Cashing Out, Win the Wealth Game by Walking Away, right? And Kirsten did a wonderful keynote talk for us during the summit to kick things off. We don't want to have the money and not use the money. Right? The whole point of the money is for it to help us live our dreams. If money is a tool, we have to take it out of the toolbox, right? We got to use the money. Kirsten's session was a really good way to frame the whole summit, right? A good way to frame the whole summit. Here's why we're talking this. You can live your dreams. We can live your dreams, right? We can live our dreams. So rewatch. If you have the replays, rewatch that as needed. I'm a PRN person. I do things as needed. When I need it, I'm going to do it, right? Go back and watch some of these sessions when you need them. This wasn't a one-time thing. And we didn't put that summit together to be like, oh, well, it's done and now it's done, it's over. It's not over. We still sell our 2020 summit sessions, right, which were very sabbatical focused, how to take a sabbatical, right? We didn't create this for it to be some candle in the wind. I don't know. What's a temporary thing? Some temporary thing, right? Flash in the pan. This is a real way that Black women are making the money to live their dreams. Exodus Summit is a real thing, a real place that has helped women make the money to live their dreams. All right. All right. Tiffany, I had a $5,000 pay increase, but I'm also tired and burned out. We need a new solution then, Tiffany. Okay, okay. The job is not the way. That job is not the way. If that job is burning you out, if that job is standing in the way of you living your life, that's not the solution. It's not the answer. We need a better answer. Okay, so we talked about the first step. No, one more step. Okay, so the action steps to moving abroad for Black women. What life do you want? Number one. Where do you want to go? Number two. And where do you want to go can be as simple as, where are other Black women happy? Where is there weather that I'm alike? Where can I get residency? Okay. Number three, how does your money stack up versus the cost of living? If you're good, you're good. Some of you will find that you're good. Others of you will find that you need to make more money, right? Number four, address the pressing issues that you have that make you think this isn't possible for you. It can be a loved one who you're a caregiver for. Do you need to set up a better plan, a better way for this person to receive care than for you to be the one who does it? Right? It might be a property that you own that is like, oh, I want to move abroad, but I own this house. Okay. Is there money in that house? Is that an Airbnb? Is that a rental property? Is that a sale? Right? It might be children who are adults, but you think that they still need you here in the US. Okay, so does that mean they come with you? Or does that mean you finally teach them how to do their own thing, right? How to cut ties? I'm sorry. I thought my hair shape was cute when I got started, but now I'm like, it can be cuter. Let me puff this up and fluff this up just a little bit. Let me get it a little. I don't know. I don't think I'm going in the right direction here. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. But what are the pressing needs? Address those pressing needs. If you can't alone figure out a solution to that pressing problem, I know how you can find the solution. It is a therapist or a coach or both, right? If it's, I feel guilty about leaving my adult kids and whatever, and even though they don't even live in the same city with me anyway, and I still got to get on a plane to see them. Not right. I think a therapist can walk you through that. I think a therapist can get you in and out. Right? Right? If it's I don't know what to do about this house, right? Maybe a financial planner, a financial coach, maybe a realtor, right? Bring in an expert. Bring in a person who actually solves that problem for a living. There are people who solve various problems for a living, right? And so you doing it as an amateur, you're not going to do it as well. Get in an expert. Bring in an expert. When we need help, we get help. All right? Jay inspired. The adult children can come or not. No guilt. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. It always surprises me when I get on a phone call with a woman. First, I'll be like, I think she's probably 36. And then she'll be like, my granddaughter is graduating from high school this year, right? So first of all, I don't even know how old she is. And then second of all, she'll be like, I want to move to Panama. Now, I love my kids. I love my kids. Don't, right? I'm like, moving to another country doesn't mean you're a bad parent. It just means you want to live in another country, right? I hear that every single time. It's very rare that I do a coaching call with a woman who has adult children where she doesn't feel like she needs to explain to me that she is still a good mother. I'm like, girl, you preaching to the choir. Okay, I already knew that. I already knew that. You don't have to explain all of that. So get help from somebody who solves that problem for a living. Seriously. There are people who solve problems for a living. Write out the problems, write out what you think are those barriers. And then get some help, some coaching, some therapy from somebody who solves that problem for a living, right? This week, I talked to one woman who might be here whose problem is just the stuff, getting rid of the stuff, right? I'm like, well, can we call in some reinforcements? Who can help you move through that process? I talked to another woman who was really concerned about looking like a failure because she decided to turn her back on Black excellence, even though excellence had been done turned its back on her. Black excellence left her in meetings crying, right? At work, frustrated, tired, exhausted, burned out. But she still felt like she needed to be loyal to Black excellence, or people would think she was a failure, right? I'm like, no. Those people are exhausted and burned out too. They hate it there. They hate it there, right? And what they will see when you announce to the world, I don't do this no more. Hello, I'm a house sitter. I'm in the south of France, right? Which literally she had had a house sit in the south of France. What they're going to say is, oh my gosh, I am so glad. I am so glad. This place was going to kill you. Okay? Now, tell me how you did it, right? That is the response you get from most people. I've been there. I was a pharmacy technician, right? I didn't have a whole bunch of credentials and things that would make people think it was ridiculous for me to leave. But what I did have was like, not a lot of money. And still, when I left, people were like, that's amazing. Do it. And then tell us how you did it, right? That's the response most of us are going to get. Okay? So address the pressing needs. Address them. Don't just decide that these pressing needs have dictated that this isn't going to work for you. It may be your own physical disability. You know what we know? We know women who have moved abroad or who are traveling full time with physical disabilities. Or Charisma Cares is a YouTube channel who does this with her son who uses a wheelchair or a scooter for mobility or a walker for mobility, right? Whatever the thing is, find somebody who can help. And I brought up Charisma's name because she coaches on this thing, right? Charisma Cares is her YouTube channel. So find someone who, if you see a hurdle, find someone who knows how to clear that hurdle, right? And you could sit down. You can see the hurdle and you can just sit down in front of it, right? You could do that. You could do that. Here's why I can't go any further, okay? But what I hope you do is you find somebody who in the next lane who just cleared that hurdle and you talk to her. You ask her how she did it. I hope you do. I don't know. I need to calm down. I hope you do. Okay, I'm really fucked. Okay, I think I see 449 eyeballs, sets of eyeballs here. So, hi, friends. Okay, all right. Yeah, if you need ease, you need to go to an easy place. All right? I'm not going to be back in this neighborhood. even if, even though I'm convinced that San Jose is the place that I'm going to stay for a while, I'm not staying in this neighborhood. Like when I tell you the whole neighborhood was out of power yesterday, the whole neighborhood. I walked down to McDonald's. He was like, no lose. La lose, something about la lose. I was like, I got it, right? If you need ease, you need to go to an easy place. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I know. You know, I wanted to talk to you for another hour, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up because I don't know how much more time we have. Okay. but but we've gone through, we've gone through the four first steps. Okay. So action steps, real action steps for Black women who want to move abroad. Number one, what life do you want? Get clarity. Get clear on what you want. Remember, you don't have to know what you want forever, right? But know what you want for now, for the next little bit. What do you want for your life? That is a first step. Wait. Okay, thank you. That is a first step. Okay, do you want ease or do you want blackouts? Seriously though, do you want some solitude? Do you want clarity? Do you want a life where you grow your own foods? Do you want convenience? Do you want access to food, but you don't have to grow it? Right? I got access to the fresh stuff right across the street. There's a man right there, right? I got access to fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm not growing my stuff, right? Do you want to be in a place where you can grow your own food, right? What do you want for your life? What do you want your day? Even your life is a big question, but what do you want your perfect day to look like? What do you want a week? Don't get caught up on the word perfect. I know there are women who the word perfect just sets them off. Striving for perfection. I don't mean striving for perfection. I just mean a day you really enjoy. What does a day you really enjoy look like? What does a week you really enjoy? What does it look like? You need that, I think, before anything. We've rearranged this list, right? This list used to start with the money. Now it starts with what do you want? What do you want your week to look like? Start there. All right? Then, where do you want to go? You don't have to know. You don't have to know where you want to go, but where? If you do know, write it down. If you have some ideas, write them down. And remember that we live in a time when you don't have to put down roots. You don't have to settle anywhere. Oh, I told you I was going to give you some pitfalls. That's so speaking of putting down roots, that's a pitfall. All right, where do you want to go? You can decide that based on where other Black women are happy, where the weather is going to fit you, where you can get good residency. That's where I would start. If I didn't know anything that I know today, where I would start in terms of where I want to go, I already know what my perfect day looks like, right? A slow start to the day, a beautiful view. I can walk to the things I need on a daily or weekly basis. And I'm not the tallest person, right? That sounds ridiculous. But in places where you tower over people all the time, it gets annoying, right? Places that have other tall people, right? Places where I can get back and forth to my parents as needed easily, right? But then I would, if I didn't know anything about where I wanted to go, I would look at where are the Black women happy? What makes them happy in these places? And is this something that would work for me? And then I would look at the weather, of course. I don't do winter weather. And residency. Where can I get permanent or temporary residency? Me, right? Where can I qualify for residency? Okay? Next thing we're going to do is compare our money to the cost of living. Nope, that was number 2. Number 3, compare our money to the cost of living in that place. And if we need to make more money, we make the money to live our dreams. Okay, we can do that by going to exodussummit.com and watching the replays of Exodus Summit 2022. If you were already there, execute. Execute what you learned. Take some action. Number 4, we want to get some help with the pressing issues, right? The things that, I hadn't put this on the screen yet. Get help with the pressing issues. The things that you think, oh, but, here's the but, right? Find someone who has overcome that hurdle and get some help from her. If she's doing coaching, get some coaching from her. Ask her, how do you clear that hurdle? Who helped you with this? Right? Okay? So those are the steps. Those are the first steps. Let's talk about a couple of pitfalls. I got 3. Number 1 is thinking you need to get a job abroad to move abroad. Probably not. Most of us want to go to places that have a lower cost of living. Lower cost of living means lower pay, right? So you're probably not going to, and so you're probably not going to find a place where you're going to get good money, right? Get money that looks good to you. So instead, find ways to make the money you need or invest and earn the money you need, right? Not necessarily getting a job in another country, right? Number 2, second pitfall that we see is Black women putting down heavy, deep roots in a place when you haven't had a chance to be free. Use some time in your life to be free. I bopped around for 7 years before I felt like, listen, I need to sit down somewhere. 7 years. It took me 7 years of bopping. And only, I think one year in those 7 years was COVID, and I stayed in my parents' house from like April to October or November. Maybe April to December. And I did a house sit in December. Right? But for the rest of that time, I was out and about doing things, going places, seeing things. It took me 7 years to be tired of bopping. So give yourself a chance to be free, to not have to be anywhere. No landlord, right? Nobody having any say over your time or location. Give yourself a time to be free. Bop. It's easier. It really is easier. I've already bopped around for 7 years, and still trying to move to Costa Rica is harder than bopping around for 7 years, right? I'm gonna have to deal with realtors and stuff, trying to figure it out. Got to get a bank down here, right? So bop around. Give yourself a chance to be free. You have never, I don't know too many people who have ever experienced that in their whole lives. So that's what a privilege. What an advantage. Use it. Use it. Be wherever. So when somebody's like, oh, did you know that there's a festival in Cape Town, South Africa? You can just go. Oh, okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to stay in South Africa for 6 weeks. Adalia's hosting a retreat in El Salvador for a week that I'm going to. And you know what I'm doing? I'm staying. I'm going to El Salvador and I'm going to stay. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see, right? So make sure that you give yourself a chance to enjoy freedom, and don't give yourself roots too quickly. What I mean is, don't go building a house. I know somebody here is building a house somewhere already, okay? But I would now home ownership is a thing that really I don't like. So already have a bias against it. I, I mean personally. I don't mean I don't like home ownership for you. I mean I don't like home ownership for me. It has been a weight around my neck. Okay? But okay, so you need to take this with a grain of salt. What I'm saying is be free. You build a property, then you have to stay there, or you sign a lease before you give yourself a chance to be free, and then you feel resentful. Be free. Like, seriously, give yourself that opportunity. So, number one, getting a job abroad is a pitfall that you don't want to fall into because it just is time consuming and you're probably not going to make money, right? Right? Number two, give yourself roots in a place if you don't have to. Give yourself a whole lot of time to be wherever you want. Number three, let's see, how am I going to word this? The third pitfall that I see people moving into is approaching places based on where it's safe as opposed to where you want to live and where you can live the life that you want. If you Google a list of the safest cities, it's probably going to be places you don't want to live, right? However, the place you already live is probably a whole lot safer than the places you're considering going. Child, you live in Memphis. You live in St. Louis. You live in Tulsa. And you worried about some safety somewhere else? I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, right? When I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, Wilmington had the highest per capita violent crime rate. I'm safer anywhere else. So prioritizing safety and prioritizing putting down roots in a place, I think is just hampering you and your freedom. Be free. I'm going to keep Shaughnessy's comment on here just until we're done. Okay, be free. That's what I want. That's what I want for you. Be free. It took me 7 years to get tired of bopping around. It took me 7 years of house sitting and staying in Airbnbs, staying in hostels, then going back to my parents' house, then house sit some more. It took me 7 years before I was like, I need a place, right? I want my own silverware. I want to go be able to pick out my own silverware, right? I want my own stuff on the walls. I'm in an Airbnb with nothing on the walls, right? It took me 7 years, right? So those are the pitfalls. I think those are the pitfalls. We need to go ahead and wrap it up though because I don't want to go through another outage, another power outage. All right, but I don't know, but the wind does seem to have. As soon as I say it, it'll pick back up though. Okay, so those are the first steps, and those are the pitfalls. How are we feeling about this, right? There are places in the U.S. where you just don't feel safe, and there are places in the U.S. and when you leave the country, you really feel a difference. Janine's World says, St. Louis is hell. My extended family lives there, and they are in constant fear of violent crime. There are places where you just don't think about it. You don't feel any type of way about your physical safety. It doesn't factor into your decisions, right? Now, I'm only across the street from the grocery store, but I go to the grocery store in the dark because sunset here is like 6:30, right? I get hungry. I want some ice cream. I'm going to the grocery store in the dark. I don't even think about it. I'm walking to the grocery store in the dark with my phone in my hand, probably. Because we're all attached to our phones. If I put my phone in my purse, then I leave it in the purse all night. And then in the morning, the alarm goes off and I have to get out of bed to turn my alarm off. And it's easier if I just keep my phone in my hand when I go to the grocery store than if I put it in my purse, right? I don't think about safety. I don't think about that type of safety. I don't think about police brutality. I don't think about police here being a threat to me. Police, and out of the U.S., the police are not a threat to you. You're not in danger. My heart does not do anything when I see police out of the U.S. like it does in the U.S. They're just there, and they're probably they might be the person I go to if I need help. If I'm lost, you will ask. In Mexico, the police officers carry automatic weapons. They carry huge guns. And still, if you're lost and they're on the corner, you will go and ask them a question because you don't feel in danger when you see that person. It's a different feeling, right? Get yourself to a place where you can feel free, where you can feel safer, right? Things happen everywhere, but get yourself to a place where you can feel safer and where you can live your life not in fight or flight mode, where you can live your life as an actual person is supposed to live, right? What about the cartels, right? You're not conducting any business with the cartels. You're probably not going to come in contact. There are some states or cities in Mexico that I wouldn't go to, right? I wouldn't go to Sinaloa. I wouldn't. But you're perfectly fine in these other places. If you mind your business, they'll mind theirs, right? They're not doing the type of violence that Americans are used to. In the US, if a man, we just saw this the other day, if a man has a bad day, anybody is in danger. In Mexico, when the cartel is ready to do cartel things, government officials are in danger, cartel people are in danger, but the average person probably not in danger, right? Okay. This is awesome. Thanks. Thanks. I'm glad. Okay. Ready to leave now. Nick, feeling good about it, ready to drop everything and leave now. Get yourself a good plan, right? And then do it. Take action. Take action. We don't want to keep planning forever. This YouTube channel started in 2019. Some of the women, some of my very first subscribers are out in the world living their lives, right? Kathy Hampton has been out and come back and been out again, right? Some of my very first subscribers have done it. This is not a place for you to dream and stop there. This is a place for you to get some clarity, dream, then get clarity, then get a plan in place, and then take some action, and then do it. Do it, and then report back. I'm running out of fingers. Then report back, okay? All of those things. When Rashida and I were, when Lily reached out to us and said she wanted to interview us for Bloomberg, she interviewed us individually, separately. And then she said, can I speak to some other women? And we gave her some information about some other women from our community who had moved abroad. And she was like, well, do you have anybody who's moved abroad but is not now teaching people how to move abroad? I was like, this looks like a pyramid scheme. This to Lily. Lily is like, y'all look like a pyramid scheme. You move abroad, you get people to move abroad, then you get other people to teach those people how to move, teach people to, anyway. I was like, I see what she's saying. It looks like a pyramid scheme. So we had to send her some names of some people who were doing other things abroad. Right? But we can have the things that we want in our lives. You already know you can have the things that you want because somebody else has them. I think that's the first question. I want this. I want children, right? I want a yacht. I want a business that supports my life, but only requires 10 or 20 hours of work per week or less, right? I want hair down my back. Whatever the thing is that you want. I don't care. I don't want that. Okay. But whatever the thing is that you want, somebody's got it. So it's possible, right? Unless you want to, unless you want a unicorn, what's impossible? That's about it, right? Unless you want to walk outside and see unicorns, the other stuff that you want is possible because somebody's got it. Somebody's got it. Hello, Mo's Point of View. Welcome. I am in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm in an Airbnb for now. I'll be working on residency and getting it home and stuff in Costa Rica this summer. But right now I'm in an Airbnb in San Jose, which is not what you think when you picture Costa Rica. It's not the jungle and it's not the beach. It's just a city. But it's surrounded by mountains, so if you're in the right place, you can get a mountain view. So I got a mountain view. There's a mountain right here and there's a mountain right there. But that's where I am. I was so surprised by the sense of freedom and lack of fear abroad in Portugal and in Singapore. You're safer wherever you go. Most of the places you want to go, you're going to feel safer. Some places have neighborhoods within them where you're not going to feel safe. You're going to be like, oh, I was in Brazil living my life, and I decided I was not going to go the way the map told me to go. I was walking to a church to take some pictures. And I was not going to go the way the map said. I'm going to go the way I think I should go. I think I should just be able to go down this street. I should not have to go around and over. And I was walking through this neighborhood, and I could tell there was a change in this neighborhood. There was a change. This was no longer the tourist area. But there were two little girls sitting outside playing on the sidewalk. So I was like, it can't be that bad. This woman came out of her house down her steps and down the street to say to me in New Jersey English, "This is a very bad neighborhood." She said, "This is a very bad neighborhood. Why are you walking through here?" I look like a tourist everywhere, right? I'm gonna make sure you know I'm a tourist. So I tell her I'm going to church. She says, "There's no church here. Go out. You see those police officers on the corner? You go out there. You ask those police officers where to go, how to get to the church." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Right? I'm not saying there's no danger in other places, but the places you want to go and the places you want to live, you're going to feel safer than you feel in the United States of America, where you probably were born, right? You're going to feel safer in these foreign lands with these others, with these strangers, than you might feel in your own home. I hope you take a chance, take advantage of that, use it to your advantage. Use that to your advantage. Yeah, in the US, I'm not making eye contact with no police officer. No, indeed. You're not going to just decide that you want to waste some of my time today, or worse. No, indeed. Yeah, so I hope that you get to feel that. This is why these channels exist. That's why this movement exists, because we really are living better out of the US, right? We're not going to other places to live worse. I told you I'm wrapping it up. I got to wrap it up. But we're not going to other places to live worse. I don't know of any people who have moved from their homeland to another place because they expect to live worse. People have been migrating since they've had feet. Since people have had feet, they have moved from what, listen, we run out of water here, we got to go someplace where there's water, right? Or our cattle, we don't have enough water for our cattle here, we got to pick up our cattle. We got to drive our cattle to another place, right? People have always moved to another place to live better. Why not you? We didn't invent moving to another place to live better. It's always been. It has always been. So why not you? Francis, everyone had me terrified of visiting Colombia. Last year, I had a wonderful time. We have a crime around the corner. Yeah, Francis lives in, that's funny because Francis lives in the New York City area, right? Like, what are you talking about? Dangerous. She lives in New York City. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, right? Okay. Come on down, TNT. Come on down. Okay. Yes. Oh, I like that, Yvette. We dream, comma. All right. We're not dreaming and then period. There's no period after the dream. We dream, comma, get clarity, comma, take action, comma, do it, comma, report back. Okay. We dream, comma. There's no period after the dream here. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do here. All right. I'm telling you, that's not what we do here. Okay. How do you get coaching from me? You go to vicarious.com/work with me. No, call me. Vicarious.com/call me. I don't do a whole lot of individual coaching, right? I do this on the YouTube channel. I don't do a whole lot of individual coaching, but there are some coaching sessions on my calendar available. There's some availability on my calendar. All right. I'm glad that you guys were here. I'm glad that you participated in the chat. I'm glad that you stuck around, even though we had to go a few different places to get this live stream. If you see a live stream come up with I mean, if you see a pre-recorded video pop up in a few days with the same title, it's because I've decided to try to make a video that the algorithm will understand how to promote. Because with this broken up video, because of my power outages, the algorithm is not going to get it. And it's not going to promote this video. I've lost my chance for this video to get out to new women, right? We want our YouTube videos to get out to new Black women, which is why we do a certain thing, right? Which is why I made a good thumbnail. I gave it a good title. I wrote out a good description, got off to a strong start, but things were not on our side today. So I'm probably going to re-record this as a pre-recorded video. So don't be surprised. If you see that, go ahead and hit the like button. Pretend like it was new. Okay? Watch it like it was new and hit the like button, please. All right. As far as I know, I had two spots left in my YouTube Success Group Coaching Program. No, I didn't. 2 spots left in my YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge. 2 spots left in the 5-day challenge. Let's take a quick look and see. If you didn't make it in, 41. How did I sell 41? I'm supposed to sell 40. Okay, so it should be full. I may have done something wrong. 40, so we now have 41 students in the challenge. It's now sold out. I guess I set it for 41 instead of 40. Yeah. Okay. It's now full, but the next challenge will happen in May. So if you still want to participate for the next challenge, just go to vicarious.com/challenge and get on the wait list. Okay? Get on the wait list. All right. Thanks so much. Levon says we stuck around as always. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for being such a kind and generous and giving and gracious community. Thank you very much for being so wonderful to each other in the chat and to me. Okay. I hope you can see me. I'm going to go ahead and close things out, but I hope I'm still moving. Okay. I think I am. Okay. I hope that we'll see you guys again next Saturday here on the live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, friends. Bye.